Hi, and welcome everybody to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin, and I'm joined today by Sean Higgs of PicksandParleys.net and Cool Jesse Shule, who just disappeared off the
Yes.
screen.
I'm looking like, what? Why is my when I look up, there's like it's usually 2-2. I'm like, why am I just a giant photo here today? What happened to Jesse?
Yeah, he'll be back. He must have got bumped off this somehow, but we're expecting
It happens.
Jesse Shule.
It's a lot, we do this live in the mornings here. It happens.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, buddy.
He's back.
Nice job yesterday with the there he is,
He's
Mr.
back.
Jesse Shule of JesseShule.com. He left us for a little bit, had to check the grill to make sure everything was cooking okay. Yeah, that's always a first priority with him, and he's back. Well, welcome aboard, Jess.
Thanks for having me, Ross. I wasn't sure you'd have me back on the show again today after giving out some bad picks yesterday.
You know what, buddy? You give out a hell of a lot more good picks than bad ones.
I know, Mr. 67%.
Yeah.
That's his little 30% lose right there. You get it every once in a while. It happens.
I think I angered the gambling gods yesterday. I come in, I was pretty cocky. I was doing a lot of bragging, and I got humbled. And I think that's good for you from time to time to get humbled. And I'm trying my best to be a better person today, be more humble. And it's easy to be humble after an 0-3 performance.
Yeah, it happens, Jesse. You know what? We all get humbled in this business. This business is probably one of the few that could be so humbling on a daily basis. Every time you think you got it figured out, that so goes sports betting. But like I just alluded to, if you win more than you lose, that's the name of the game, folks. And you grind it out, like Sean always likes to say, right, Sean? Especially when you're a volume player.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say, like, I mean, Jesse comes in. I'll do my midday morning show, and whether I'm on a 3-10 run or 10-3, I don't get too like
up or down
wrapped up, because you can't. Because I mean, for me, I'm 6-4, I'm 3-7, and I'm 3-0. It's 1-4. So you can't ride that kind of nonsense. It's not. I'm not out with the guys having wings. Like, yeah, let's put $100 on this game.
It must have been hard, Sean, to be humble in the NFL season when you were literally doubling the next closest guy.
But that was tough, because you want to be like, listen, no one's close to me. I'm in the zone, right? Some days you're just like that. And it's one thing betting 40 games like that, but when you're betting 240 games, it's like, wow, I'm really, but you can't, again, I can't do that. I can't, well, I'm going to triple my wager. No, because I've done that in the past, hot hands, and I can't. I got to stick to, creature of habit.
It's called being disciplined.
Creature of habit. I can't. I'm not. I'm like, all right, it's good. I'll say it matter of factly and move on.
Well, if it's not broke, don't.
I can't get too high or too low. For me, it's
exactly. I mean, look, Jesse went 0 for 3 yesterday, and he's been terrific over the last few months. So
years.
It happens to the best of us, is what I'm trying to say. But my money's on Jesse to bounce back today. And my money's always on these guys. I speak a lot about you guys subscribing and how lucky we are to have you, and we are, okay? And we appreciate all the new subscribers and all the comments, good or bad, as long as you're respectful. We appreciate them as well, because our channel has grown exponentially over the last 6 months or so. Yeah. But I'm extremely fortunate as a host and somebody who's been with the channel for a little over 3 years now, to have the kind of guys that join me on a daily basis, Jesse and Sean and Doug, all articulate gentlemen, all true professionals, all with a proven track record. And again, folks, all of us, including myself, we've been doing this for over 2 decades now. This is not something that we just started. This isn't a part-time job for us. I know one of the guys yesterday in the comments section, guys, had mentioned, you guys remind me of me, because when you're talking, it's just about 3 guys just sitting around talking sports betting and enjoying sports betting. Well, I had to go one step further and say, I appreciate that, sir, but we've been doing this 20 years professionally. I don't mean to burst your bubble, but we're not in the same category. You have to blow your horn once in a while. So, but I think some people think, who are not familiar with us, when they jump on this channel and hear our dialogue in our analysis on games that, we're just three guys that are three friends that just decide to wake up in the morning and shoot the baloney about sports betting. This is our livelihood, right, guys?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So,
Well,
Sean?
I mean, I say 20. I've been on for almost 20 years. Jesse's probably around the same. You got a little longer time with us. I mean, we're probably closing in on about 80 years of betting experience.
Yeah, since football season of 2002 is when my career began. So 21 years. I don't know. Going on 21 years, 20 plus years. So
it's a long time.
But
I mean, even before that,
the same proximity, right? Jesse, you are right around the same time, and
well, I'm almost 47. And when I was 21 years old, I took a $10,000 check from a company called Olympic Sports to the bank. I gave it to the teller and she looked at me, and I was in pretty good shape at the time. And she's like, "Oh my God, what sport are you in?" She thought I was going to the Olympics, but
Greco-Roman wrestling. Jesse the Bull Show. I mean,
I milked that, Ross. I did.
Anyway, boys, we got 3 games in Major League
Baseball. I'm laying like minus 640 that he got a phone number.
Yeah, there you go.
A gentleman never tells, Sean.
Unless you're my guy, Russell, telling on your buddies.
Boy, did
that's
that
right.
open up a Pandora's box yesterday. Somebody didn't appreciate my comment about Magic Johnson. Look, I'm not cutting Magic Johnson down. The truth of the matter, this guy wasn't faithful to his wife. Obviously, okay? It's been documented in the Lakers series and whatever have you. Come on, folks. Ease up a little bit. Let's not try to turn everything into a racially motivated statement, because it's not. All right? It's not. In any event. All right. Sean picked us up yesterday, Jess. We both fell. But Sean hit both of his NBA player props. So much for a guy who doesn't like the NBA.
I know. I gotta throw water myself. I couldn't jump into it. And of course, after the first one was there, I'm like, let me look into tomorrow and see what I got in this Philly. I'm like, I'm not. I can't. Nope. I'm not. Just because you go 2-0 and I feel really good. I looked, but I didn't find no player prop today in the NBA. I did look though, when I'm like, you know what? Let's see if I can find something as good as those two. Because I felt really good about them both.
Yeah, I know you did. And you mentioned it. You had zeroed in on them the day before we even did the show. So
yeah,
no fluke there. Look, Gabe Vincent was looking shaky for a while. He only had like 1 3-point make, I believe, going into the fourth quarter. I think he hit like 3 in the fourth quarter alone.
I saw 1 to 5 at the half. I'm like, you know what? All right, he's gonna take a couple more shots. So I felt good about it.
Yeah.
But I just looked at the box score. I'm like,
he hit there was a stretch where he hit like 3 in a row in the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. If not the fourth quarter, late in the third and into the fourth.
Never in doubt.
Then you also had D'Angelo Russell over 15.5 points, and much to the chagrin of one of our viewers, who said that was an absolute stupid bet. Well, D'Angelo Russell scored 19.
And again, because I just saw the comment, I hit him with a never in doubt. That's my go-to line when you pull something out of your butt. It's like, I'm never in doubt. Easy winner. Exactly. But he said he's inconsistent. He wasn't though. Like I ran down his scores in the playoff games, and he scored. The one game he didn't score, well, AD didn't score either. So that was just a bad flat spot or whatever you want to call for the Laker team.
He had a 31-point game in the postseason, so it's not like the guy
couple 19ers.
Yeah,
we'll take it.
All right, let's get to the games at hand, because I could see Jesse, if he doesn't have anything to brag about, he wants to get to the next pick. All right, Jess, I mean, without further ado, I don't want to keep you waiting, buddy. You look like you're ready to attack a bookmaker. The assassin himself is going to tell us who he likes in the Pittsburgh Pirates with Mitch Keller on the mound against the Tampa Bay Rays with Shane McClanahan, game being played in St. Petersburg at Tropicana Field. Tampa Bay minus 220 and a total of 7. I'm going to say that Jesse's probably going to not use the money line on this game. And let's see what he does.
Well, Ross, I mean, it's a great story, the Pittsburgh Pirates. I just did a show with Hannah Mears on Picks and Parlays. She's from Pittsburgh. She's really excited about it. And I told her, I said, listen, I've been betting on the Pirates, and I'm in no hurry to step in front of them yet. But let's face it, we're in Tampa now. This is the Rays. They're by far the best team in baseball. I mean, they're leading the majors in runs scored, batting average, on base, everything. They're the best at everything right now. They're at home, and you got a Cy Young candidate on the mound for Tampa. 5-0, 2.12 ERA for McClanahan. Even better at home, 2-0, 1.59 ERA. You got Mitch Keller going for the Pirates. Now he's been solid. It's not bad. 3-0, 3.53 ERA. Last year he was just 5-12, but still posted an ERA under 4. So I mean, he's probably not going to get roughed up that bad, but I don't know what the Pirates are going to get off. Nobody gets anything off McClanahan. There's no way I can take the Pirates here. So I'm looking at the first 5 innings. You can get Tampa at -0.5, -130. And with McClanahan on the mound, you just do the math. You look at the games. How often is Tampa leading after 5 innings when McClanahan pitches at home? And I'd be pretty surprised if that wasn't at least 70% of the time.
So Tampa -0.5 at money line odds of -130 in the first 5 innings. So keep that in mind, folks, because this guy coming off a loss is, let's just say he's pretty good. Okay. And Shane McClanahan, you can make a case that he's the most underrated pitcher in baseball over the last 2 seasons. I mean,
he's
again,
solid.
6-0 when his team starts this year with a 2.12 ERA and a 1.09 WHIP. But Jesse brings up a good point. I mean, I'm looking. Mitch Keller's had 5 quality starts in a row. Sean.
Yeah, and he got the. I remember seeing like on Twitter he got the opening day start, and it's kind of like, you figure he's not gonna be that guy like Mitch Keller. Like what? Yeah. I mean, but as Jess said, and like Hannah, they're all excited. Things are going right. But you also have Vince Velasquez and Rich Hill in the back end of this rotation. I can't take Pittsburgh seriously. But I do like Rich Hill. I want to do the under here 7. But it's like you're waiting for that shoe to drop on Pittsburgh to be like, well, here come the Pirates. And, all right, he might go 5 or 6 innings and give up 2 or 3 runs. And then the bullpen comes in and gets shelled. That Tampa team, I think they scored 10 runs in an inning the other day against the White Sox, or 7 runs. I mean, they score in bunches.
Yeah.
It's a young team, but now all their young guys, they never had hitters before. They always had good pitching, but now they have some young hitters who are actually hitting the ball. Yeah. Again, it's got to be like a run line play. I thought about an under in that, but I'm like, I don't know. Tampa just looks like it's a dangerous team to hit, and I don't want to bet against Pittsburgh, but I don't want to bet on them. I'm not going to be invested in that game. I think it's a tough game. I won't be. If Pittsburgh win this game 3-1, will you be shocked when Shane goes 7 innings and gives up a run and the bullpen? No, that's not going to surprise me.
Yeah. Well, you talked about Tampa Bay and you flirted with liking the under here, and then you look at Tampa Bay and 62 home runs in their first 30 games of the season. That's incredible.
Yep.
And also the pitching they're receiving. Their bullpen has been solid. We mentioned McClanahan, and Mitch Keller's been good too, but I don't know. I'm going to stay away from this. I'm not going to have.
You know what the most impressive thing about Tampa Bay is?
What's that?
Their payroll.
Yeah. They do it right, Jesse? I mean, somehow they find these guys that are.
I'll tell you this. How about them trading for Ohtani in July?
I just don't see it because of the money that's involved. And think about it. When was the last time Tampa Bay shelled out big money for a player?
Not that they shell out big money. They can send some young players there. I mean, if it's about winning, but they won't sign them. How about we'll trade for him and get us over the top and get an extra bat in the lineup. You get a good pitcher.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say is
what team is going to give up a bunch of young guys?
Right? I mean,
just for 1 year, he's a free agent.
Right.
What's the salary this year? 30. He's got to pay half that.
Yeah,
they got enough depth. I think they could. It'll be tougher. They can make a play for that. I'm just thinking maybe Aaron Nola goes there because Eflin's down there. Philly falls on their face, but that's a team I think is going to try to make a big splash for a rental player. I mean, this right now. Listen, you keep playing 70% ball, whatever the heck they're rolling right now. Oosh.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how you anticipate making any moves when you're 24-6 on the year. 15-2 at home, hit 62 home runs in 30 games, and probably have the best overall pitching staff in all of baseball from top to bottom. So we'll see. But it's an interesting idea. If they do pick up Ohtani, that would be great. for Tampa, because that area, for whatever reason, I don't know what it is. I lived in Florida for like 10 years, and you would think that it's a baseball hotbed, right? You can play ball 12 months out of the year. I used to always envy those kids that could play baseball 12 months out of the year, where I had 3 months. You know what I mean? Our high school season was all of 20 games, and that's if the weather cooperated here in the Northeast. But the bottom line is, between Miami and Tampa, they don't draw,
Yeah.
and Tampa, and now both, you can't say, well, it's because it rains once a day and it delays the games. You can't say who could sit through a 90-degree day in July in South Florida. Both stadiums now are covered, so in air conditioned. So I don't know. Anyway,
It was just a year ago they were talking about playing half their home games in Montreal or something like that.
Yeah. So that's pretty sad that you would think, from just a layman's standpoint, that Florida would be an absolute hotbed, and people would flock to the games. But unless,
I mean, even if I know they get a lot of transplants, but if you're in that area, like, the team wins. I mean, it's not like going to Yankee Stadium where a seat's going to cost you $280. You can probably get in there for like $10 somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, when Boston and the Yankees play at Tampa Bay, you're looking at a 50-50 split in terms of their fans, Boston and the Yankees fans showing up. So, and then when you go to Miami, when the Mets come to town, it's like a Mets home game,
Ridiculous.
But in any event, not much of a home field advantage. But I mean, again, if you get a player like an Ohtani or there's only one or two of those type of guys, him and Mike Trout, but and a couple others possibly, but that's
and you put those two guys together and you get a 500 team. So what's that tell you?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Anyway, let's go to your game, Sean. The Cleveland Guardians at the New York Yankees, and right now we got Cleveland as a 130 money line favorite. The total in this game is 7.5. It'll be Shane Bieber for the Cleveland Indians and Clark Schmidt for the New York Yankees, who struggled. Boy, oh boy, Sean, you look at the Yankees lineup and it doesn't scare anybody. You take Judge out of the lineup, you take Stanton out of the lineup, both on the IL. Then Josh Donaldson has been on the IL. And you're looking at the bottom of the order. They're lucky if between the bottom three in that order, if they're hitting a combined 200. So anyway, what's your take on this one?
Well, I don't know. The Donaldson might be an addition by subtraction when you're hitting 180 between him, Hicks, and I can't. I mean, the lineup is bad. And I look at this as a 135 for the game. I'm like, they're almost begging to take Cleveland here, but I can't take the Yanks because the offense is terrible.
Yeah.
And Bieber faced them about almost a month ago, beginning of the season. He gave up 2 runs in 7 innings of work, and Schmidt faced these guys. I think he gave up 4 innings in his part of time. I'm going to look at Cleveland first 5 here. Minus a half a run. It is a plus 105 number. Now, I think Bieber's lost a little bit off his fastball. The speed's down a little bit, stuff like that. Now, I don't know if that's because it's still early in the season and he's working with the pitch clock. And, some of these older guys, not that he's that old. I'm saying as a veteran guy who's really good. Maybe they're trying to find their groove. But I can't bet on the Yanks as a dog. The offense is bad. I got a better pitcher on the hill, a Cy Young type stuff thrower, low scoring game. Yes. But I'm going to go first 5 here for plus money. Plus 105. I think we get a nice 2-0 lead early here. Smith has given up 4 runs in almost all of his starts. I mean, he's good for a 5-inning, 4-run kind of game, even versus a light hitting Cleveland team. Ramirez is always a solid under the radar MVP candidate. And Naylor here, young guy's just been on a tear the last week. The youngster finally getting some hitting. And that's what I think Cleveland needs. They need another bat, but they got a hot hitter in Naylor. Jose is always under the radar. Nobody talks about him. And I got a better pitcher. First 5 plus 105. I think we should get there.
It's minus a half a run on Cleveland, plus 105 in the first 5 innings. So both of these gentlemen have opted to go the first 5 inning route, with Sean taking Cleveland minus a half a run, minus 130 over the Yankees in the first 5. And then Jesse has a Tampa Bay Rays minus a half a run, minus 130 as well, right, Jesse?
Yeah, but Sean's bet is plus 105.
His is plus 105, right? I'm sorry. So thank you for correcting me there. But you have 2 first 5 inning plays, both laying a half a run, both at reasonable money line prices, especially Sean at plus 105. And when you consider Tampa Bay minus a half a run at minus 130, the way they're playing, that's a great value as well. All right, let's move on to my pick, and then we'll sew it up here. I am going to be looking at the Boston Red Sox, who will be hosting the Toronto Blue Jays tonight after going through, I think, an 8-game losing streak at home against Toronto. The Red Sox have won the first 2 in the series, and lo and behold, the Red Sox are 3 games above 500 on the year, and they're right on Toronto's tail. The first 2 in the series, Boston wins 6-5 and 7-6. That now makes them 4-0 in the last 4, while Toronto falls to 0-3 in the last 3. However, I do like that. To me, this is a lopsided starting pitching matchup. I know Alek Manoah hasn't been as sharp as we would like to see him early on, but he has been really good on the road. And 3 road starts this year, a 2.60 ERA and a 1.10 WHIP. Nick Pivetta, boy, oh boy, he still remains in the Boston rotation. The guy has struggled for 2 years now, and I don't know what Boston sees to keep him around, but his last 3 is 7.98 ERA, a 1.57 WHIP, less than 5 innings pitched per start. This Toronto bullpen, a 1.99 ERA, 0.44 WHIP in their last 7. While Boston's bullpen, 4.81 and 1.52 in their last 7. Not very good. And I am going to take the Toronto Blue Jays in this spot. And I got minus 131 over at Bet Online over the Boston Red Sox. Your thoughts, Sean?
I'm gonna be against you here, Ross. I kind of like Boston, and it's for me. I like my little streaks. I'll jump on my streaks in baseball. And Boston's now won 4 in a row. Toronto's lost 3 in a row. Manoah hasn't pitched all that great this year, and I got a Cy Young ticket on the kid. Not looking promising. And as I said, Pavetta's not a great pitcher. Maybe an overplay. This is kind of like the Cleveland game for me. I see a guy laying 140, and I still think Boston's a bad team. I don't like Sale. I don't like Kluber. I don't like Pivetta. A lot of guys who aren't what they were. I mean, Pivetta was never in those other 2 guys' arenas, but it just looks a little light to me. And I got the streaks playing here. I'm going to go with the home team as a small dog here, right? No way Boston or Toronto gets swept here, right? They can't get swept. That's I'm gonna say Boston at home.
All right, so Sean likes the opposite way, and that's okay if we disagree once in a while, folks. It's healthy. That means we have our own mindsets and our own philosophies, and especially in baseball, when you play as many games as each team does, there's going to be a lot of fluctuations from day to day. It's not like you're handicapping a football game that once a week the team plays. So a lot of things to account for in baseball. Jesse, Manoah, 6 career starts against Boston with a 1.46 ERA. Are you willing to go against Manoah as well?
No, Ross. If I had to pick a side, I'd go with you. But I think I prefer a play on the total as long as the weather would cooperate. I haven't looked at the weather, but as long as we're looking at reasonably warm temperatures and as long as the wind isn't blowing in hard, I expect these 2 teams to score some runs. Manoah, as you mentioned, good against Boston, good on the road, but he's been a little iffy. He hasn't been the same guy we expected him to be so far this year. And then, Boston, I mean, top of the majors in scoring runs with one of the worst bullpens in the majors. Yeah. Obviously a recipe for a lot of high scoring games. So I'd lean toward the over.
All right. So Jesse has a lean toward the over 9.5 in Boston and Toronto, but repeating again, I'm on the Toronto Blue Jays, minus 131 over the Boston Red Sox. Both of these gentlemen, first 5 plays on Tampa, minus a half a run, minus 130, and the Cleveland Indians, minus a half a run at plus 105. Those are both first 5 inning bets. All right, guys. Sean, tell the folks about where they could find you and what you may have coming up and how you've been doing of late.
Yeah, you can find me Twitter, Mr. Sean Higgs, and my live show daily, 12 noon Eastern, midday money, across all streaming platforms, Facebook, YouTube there. And what I got going on, a lot of, baseball. Although today, I only have 2 baseball games right now. I really didn't love the card today. Yesterday, some days you love it. Some days it's like a day like that. I talked about Boston and the Yankees teams that you sort of want to play on. Maybe, the Dodgers are on a nice little win streak, but I will focus on baseball, even though it's playoff time. I do throw out some NBA. I do got a couple up here today, and we got the Philly game going, and I think Suns Denver. I think that's tomorrow. They spread these games out. Heat back in action on Sunday. I'll have action on that game as well. So I will sprinkle in the playoffs, but obviously for me, Major League Baseball.
Jesse, your turn, my man. Tell us all about forget what happened yesterday. Tell us about the positive stuff that's been going on over
Well,
there.
Ross, I don't want to brag too much because I figure it's bad luck. Look what happened to me yesterday. But despite going 0-3 yesterday, it's been a decent month, a decent year, a decent couple years. So, it's not like I'm lacking confidence. I just want to remain humble. But you can follow me on Twitter at Jesse Schul. You can follow me on YouTube at Jesse Schul Picks. And if you come see me at jesseschul.com, you'll be glad that you did.
There you go. Jesse Schul at jesseschul.com, one of the finest in the country, in the world, because Jesse is located in Thailand. So I would say in Asia, but I don't know how many Asian sports handicappers there are these days. But in any event, before I get myself in trouble and somebody accuses me of an ethnic slur, I'm going to leave that one alone. I am 18-8 with my NBA sides. I didn't have anything last night. I didn't like either one of those games. Just sat and educated myself and enjoyed. I did fall on my Major League Baseball pick last night as I had the Dodgers and Philly game under the total that the Dodgers just exploded for 13 runs. So lost that one, but 7-4 with my last 11 in Major League Baseball, 18-8 with my NBA playoff sides. And 9-5 with all sports overall with my last 14. So all good. rbwins.com. Folks, don't forget, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel and you want to know how to do so, it's easy. You'll see an OSGA logo there in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen. If you hover over that, a subscribe button will come up. Hit it. And then while you're there, hit the notification bell and you'll be alerted right away upon any of our Winner's Circle Sports Betting podcast going up on this channel. Again, folks, absolutely free, no cost, no hidden agenda, no subscriptions. You get privy to us three and also Doug Upstone, who's with me every Monday and Thursday from DocSports.com. Until the next time, for Sean Higgs and Jesse Schul and Ross Benjamin, we'd like to wish each and every one of you all the very best. Take care and God bless, folks.